Yes, now it's live. YouTube, it's live. Okay. Greetings to all. So that's how it began, and we said we'll have some more deeper sessions in awareness. But all of them were able to go, just one or two, but all of them were able to go into deep awareness. And for almost 45 minutes, we had a session. It was completely the Guru Tattva that I told them, because maximum were on that. And I said, who are not having a Guru can just connect to the divine Tattva. And if anybody wants a recording from the WhatsApp group, let me know. I'll send you the recording. Because we made a recording and some, not all could come there. So many of them saw live different parts of Goa. So I have the thing. I didn't make it public, but I don't want to make it public. So I'll share it only with the group who has signed up here, who are already there in the group here. Only for them. I'm not making it live anywhere. So if anybody from the WhatsApp group is here, can let me know. WhatsApp group is not a group. I tell group all the time. It's not a group. It's just your WhatsApp number is registered there, and I do a broadcast sending update. So I just have to click one button, and it goes to all the numbers individually. And nobody knows each other and all, because I don't want to mess up all that, and I don't want disturbances. I don't want to disturb your lives also. And it's your private numbers and all that. So I respect your privacy. So that's how I've kept it in that manner. So all those who have signed up for that obviously will keep getting all the updates from me, which I don't do in the live. I do it with people. Now I am doing that is because that group of people who are there, who they know what I am doing here, and they know, and they are interested. They have either practiced and being benefited, and they want to continue. They want to deepen their experiences. These are these kind of people. So they're not just curious people just coming and going and all that. So there we have rapt attention. So whenever we have a Zoom session or anything, all who are there, they attend, and whoever possible they attend, and there is seriousness. So for me it's very easy, because the platform is ready. If the platform is set, then we just sit here and deliver what we have to deliver. Otherwise माहौल बनाते बनाते हम बन जाते हैं. It's a big challenge. So that's the reason I thought, let me have only this set of people who are very serious, and who are really willing to deepen their experiences. And these are again people who have expanded their horizon. They are not just limited into one way of life, or with a lot of belief systems, because then it doesn't work. If we go with a belief, your beliefs, your conditioning, all that doesn't prevents you from going ahead in life. Even in spirituality it doesn't. So here, when we have narrowed down to everything, we are just open about everything, all the truths, all the things, everything just as it is, like, no twisting and turning and all this. So if we have a deep document, higher or deeper scriptures, we just reveal it out, study on it, contemplate, meditate, go deep in, experience it, and all those things happen. So it's like a true satsang. Satsang is not just spiritual gossip. It's actually satsang, satya ke sang. We sit with the truth. Satya ke sang is satsang. And this is a very thing I've taken seriously, because that's one of the four pillars of Vashishta Mahamuni. Maharishi Vashishta had four pillars of Yoga Vashishta. In that, one is satsang. And I've seen it does benefit. One is, you keep always in the affinity of truth and light. You're always in that vicinity. There is consistency, and it's very difficult to get out of the loop of that higher truths, because all the time we are trying to be here in sadvasana. So all these sessions are all towards satvasana. This is all towards spirituality and deepening your experiences with spirituality. So that helps, because it keeps away all the other Vishay vasanas, all the other vasanas. And now we are making it more and more clear. I will do my best in my life to bring out all these truths that are there, because I've seen my own life was boggled. and disillusioned for 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 a long time, because certain truths did not reflect directly, or I could not, or I did not have the courage, or I knew it but I could not for some reasons look into it. And that actually causes a lot of jerks in the spiritual journey, inward journey. So now when I look back on all those things, I have a feeling that I knew all these things, everything was so clear, but yet my conditioning, my patterns, my rigidity, my unwillingness to open up and not letting go, being going with the flow, being present in the moment, all these things were not happening because of these inhibitions. So once that gets cleared, I see how my life journey also moved in a better, faster way. So that's the reason I suggest to many people in this, and that's what I'm trying to teach. So what I'm teaching is all the reflection from these kind of scriptures. And it's not that I've studied these scriptures, but as I always say, these things were always in me. Somehow I knew it, but I did not have the guts to adhere to it, because I felt it may not be right, because it was coming from within. But most of the time I felt no, it might not be, because I was always constantly looking in and around the people, and what people do, what the crowd is doing, and just following that, trying to follow, not following also. I couldn't follow, but trying to follow, because I thought I must fit in. And I thought even only when I fit in, things will happen. If I don't fit in, then I'm out. And if I'm out, I'm alone and I'm secluded and I'm isolated. And then it looked very scary. But over a period of time, when I saw all these truths coming out very clearly in front of me, and then contemplated on my own life, I found it very, very helpful. And that is how it deepened my spiritual processes. And only when that deepened to such an extent that there was strong conviction, then I started doing this work of sharing it. Because there I was very, very sure of what I'm speaking. It's not just owning the camera and just blah, 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 something. No, I was very sure of what I'm speaking, and I knew it from my own experience and conviction. But when I see people stuck in the areas that I was stuck once, I feel for them. And it, out of that compassion, it makes me, compels me to reveal it. But again, I know it's a very challenging thing, because what I'm speaking, most in the crowd don't adhere to. They have some other patterns and thinking, and some other limitations, which they don't know it's a limitation. It's, they feel that's it, that's life, that's spirituality. So because they have not explored it, somewhere there is no courage to explore it, or somewhere there is no will to explore it. But when they are stuck, then I can clearly see the difference, where is the stuck happening. So that's how, when I began the personal consultations, many examples came in front of me, and I knew exactly what the people are going under. Because if I have, for example, if I have done 200 consultations, in that, if I just see the percentage of people's problem, I really know what the crowd is up to, what is the problem in the crowd. From that angle, I do my live sessions. Somewhere or the other, I get a hint, and somewhere or the other, I know what the intuitively also, whatever you call it, I understand what is needed there. And so, what to send you, Induranji? Acha, theek hai. That I'll send you. You send me a message on WhatsApp only, that number only. Whoever wants the Goa satsang, this, I won't reply anything here. So don't put anything here. Just put a message there. Remind me. I'll just send you the link, and then you can watch. And these are the people that I trust also, again, all in the group. I'm very, very familiar. I know them one to one. So that's good. That makes me comfortable, and then I know there is no foul play or crooked play or some manipulation or some nonsense. 2 years I was stuck in all this. People are literally not allowing me to do these kind of things, because somewhere they were trying to pull me down, and directly, indirectly, and a lot of things were happening. So now I'm fantastic, fine. I'm able to quietly deliver those things to those who are ready to hear. I would like to only speak to those who like to hear. That's all. Those who are not interested, even I'm not interested. Anyhow, we are not here for any other gossip or worldly stuff and all that. It's just spirituality. So who's talking my language and whose language I talk, that there is a frequency, there is a good vibration, and that's a good clear clarity in understanding. It's easy to exchange views and all those things. So my funda is just like, instead of pulling in the whole crowd and expanding my kingdom and making it a very large kind of kingdom, that also will happen. That's not a big deal to make it happen, because if you just know the pulse of the crowd, it's very easy to deliver. And that's what exactly the marketing field does today, even in the other fields like YouTube and Facebook. And because when I look at some technical hell, I can see how the crowds can be manipulated, because they usually talk about uh, understanding the pulse of the crowd, and then giving them that what they want. So if you give people what they want, there will be crowd, there will be a lot of people, always there. So I disagree with that. I do not want to give what the people want. I just share what I want, and who can catch that will catch that. So that's the frequency that I'm talking about. So it's not catering to people's whims and fancies, and uh, making people believe that they are doing good and everything is hulala, very nice, all is well, everything will be taken care of, and because people want assurances. I know that the crowd wants assurances. You tell them truth, they'll run away, but if you give them assurance, they'll stay. Everybody wants to listen. You tell me that everything is going to be fine in my life. Please tell me, please tell me. So if you just make some assurances, they'll be all fine. You can see we never talk on all those assurances here. We talk blank. ऐसा है जिंदगी, ऐसी होने वाली, ऐसी हो सकती है, ऐसी हो सकती है. So it's like, be ready to accept life the way it comes, because this is how complex life is. Life is very complex, because how it is complex, it's our own complexities, our own karmas, or the results of our own karmas, and it's very very complex. It's not what we are thinking. You do the deeper scriptures, you will understand. It's not just scriptures, they are unraveling the truth like anything. Now, this is not what the people like to hear, and that is one very good reason why these scriptures are never discussed in public, or it has not been taken up, these kind of subjects. I would urge all the spiritual communities. Literally, I'm telling you, I would urge, encourage all the spiritual communities to take up scriptures like Kalagnana, take up scriptures like Upadesha Saram, take up all these kind of. फिर मानो मैं spirituality में दम है. That's real spirituality. That's where the backbone is. Because if we are looking for masses, then we don't have crowd there. So it all depends on what we want to deliver, how we want to deliver, and the whole pomp and glory catch. Chidakasha Gita completely warns about it. Bhagwan Nityananda is warning about it multiple times. And if you take up the Chidakasha Gita and read it, it might be difficult to understand it, but if you can, or you can look into my videos on Chidakasha Gita. I will be doing lot of sessions on Chidakasha Gita. Regularly, I'll be doing, because I want to bring out the message of Bhagwan Nityananda in clarity. People don't know him. I know. We only know him as Bhagwan Nityananda, who was there, who came like a saint, like a messiah, and he lived around, did some chamatkar, did some miracles, changed people's lives, gave some few messages, do this, do that, and made everybody happy. Whoever came to him, he gave all the tatastu, he gave all the boons to them. You came to him for health reasons, he cured them, all that blah blah he did. And then finally he built some caves for, people don't know for what purpose. Maybe it is for meditators, okay, so that people come and meditate. And then he went to Ganeshpuri and spent a few more days there, and he had a lot of people coming to meet him. Why they came to meet him? Because to get their wishes fulfilled. And he kept everybody's wishes fulfilling. And finally, one day, he passed away. This is all that we know about Bhagavan Nityananda. No, no way. No way. He is far beyond all these things. He's God Himself who presented in that body. So if you look at his messages, they contain Upadeshasaram, they contain Kalgnana. Kalgnana, I did a 4 day session, 14 hours. Very committed people sat consistently 4 hours a day for 4 days, 3 hours to 4 hours every day, and we completed it. And those who have understood the Kalgnana have understood life. Have understood what spirituality is. Have understood what moksha is, what self-realization. So once you have clarity in what is self-realization and what is moksha, then you can't be tricked into something. I cannot trick you saying, come, let's talk about self-realization and let's do something to get self-realized. You can't do anything to get self-realized. If it was true, then these people have been talking lies. Nisardat Maharaj, Bhagavan Nityananda, all these great masters like Ramana, they were all talking lies then. If you don't believe what I'm saying, don't believe, but at least you can believe them. Pick up their books, pick up their teachings, go deeply into it. Don't superficially read it. Go deeply into it, and you can go only deeply if you are truly interested in spirituality, in spiritual evolution. If you are a fulfiller of your desires and you just want to move away through life, ऐसे ऐसे करके चलो गाड़ी निकल जाए, then these books are not meant for you, then these mahatmas also are not meant for you. Then it won't work, things won't work. So I'm not talking to people who are in that frame of mind. I'm talking to people who are very serious, who have the capacity to sit, investigate, experiment, look into their life, have the courage to look within, look outside, investigate their own truth, investigate the truths of the world, investigate the truth of spirituality, cross question everything. I'm not saying go and cross question people, cross question yourself on what your belief is. Everything you cross question, double check, experiment, experience, and then believe. That is what Lord Buddha taught. So Buddha's teaching was, whether you like it, whether you don't like it, whether you know God, whether you don't know God, whether you like God, whether you don't like God, had made no difference, because his teachings was much beyond all this. All that he said was, watch your breath, vipassana, because breath is life, breath is God, breath is everything. So he never in his lifetime spoke about God. Bhagwan Mahavir never talked about God. These are actually spiritual scientists who talked about so neutrality terminology in very practical essence. And if you look at Jainism and Buddhism, maximum number of self-realized liberated beings are there. Jain, all the Tirthankars, 24 Tirthankar, powerful. And look at all the Buddhists. Today also they take Jiva Samadhi. Today also you look at their lives or renunciation. Powerful people. Powerful concepts. Even the concepts are so powerful in everything. Very deep, very serious. So it has actually run out. You can't say that, it's all about God or not about God, and because Buddha and Mahavir actually went beyond it. These are the truths that we must live in. We cannot live in just, even Bhagwan Nityananda says about God. And he says, don't run about after so many gods. Have one God, he says. He's not meaning God also. He's meaning have one tattva, one element that you catch to. From that, because he's all the time talking about oneness. So he says, if you go into that bracket, you have everything in life. And you get also very easily. And he says, don't chase hundreds of gods. And he says, because all your energies, all your consciousness, it will just get split. If you're following hundreds of deities, it will just get split, he said, and you won't get the benefit. So he says one tattva that you follow, and that too he says Shiva consciousness. He talks about Shiva and Shakti, the Sat and Chit. Again, not idolizing any gods, not again religiously following any god, because in one verse he says religion cannot teach you this. He says very clearly, spirituality cannot be taught by religion. You have to learn through experience, through practice. That is what Bhagwan's message is. And he says again, when he says about Shiva consciousness, he is again and again talking about Nirgun Nirakara. Because in one phrase, one verse, he even says, no Shiva image worship. He says this. So why all these things they are saying? Because you come down to the grosser forms, you get stuck. You come down to duality, you are stuck. And he's talking completely oneness, 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 non-dual concept. Bhagavan Nityananda's Chidakasha Gita. And very clearly, I want to bring out this message to the world, or whoever is interested in Bhagavan Nityananda's work. He says these two are two different things, worldly and spiritual. They are in the opposite directions. If you go worldly, adogati, you come down because your energy is going down. And if you want to go towards self-realization, it's upward. And he says it is like night and day. It is like day and night, he says. He says it's like day and night. Two different opposite directions, he says. If you go after one, the other will not be there. If you go after self-realization, you will not get worldly stuff. And if you go after worldly stuff, you will never get self-realization. Not one, many verses he has told. Now I have made all those quotes, and I think 7-8 quotes I've made on just these kind of points, taken uh, from the Chidakasha Gita, which is fully highlighting on the seriousness of self-realization. So you will see that coming every one day, every morning, one release will come, those quotes. And I'm spreading it out. Spread out those teachings. If you don't like to spread my teachings or my work, it's okay, perfectly fine. I never asked you to do that also. It's okay even if you don't do it now. But spread these teachings, these powerful teachings. Spread it wherever you can, whichever groups and all that. Put Bhagavan Nityananda's Chidakasha Gita, Kala Jnana, and Upadesha Saram, things like these, very very deep. And the truth is revealed there. Everything is very very clear. And if there are any doubts or something, you can always refer to my videos. I'm sitting here clearing doubts even after talking, because I'm not giving a lecture and closing it and going. We're just reading books. If you have any doubts from whichever sessions I'm doing, from whichever books or whichever scripture I'm doing, you also have the right to ask questions and then get it clarified. So for that reason, weekly ones I've kept. This week I couldn't keep because of Goa, but every week we'll have that clarity sessions. We have done 2 already, and so much of clarity is coming to people. So, and there is no point, because even in Goa, when I was sitting for the satsang, people came and they wanted to meet, talk personally. I knew what it's all about. So, and they one by one came, and I couldn't deny it. So I was just briefly talking and then getting a catch glimpse of what it is. And for five of them who talked, I got what they were, and I delivered that in the satsang only. We included that topic, and so it was clear by 4.5 hours. And because all these 5 people, we had no time in the morning, they said, "Okay, you finish the satsang and then we'll talk." I said, "Okay." But in the satsang, everything was clear. All 5 of them came to me and said, in the end of the session, "No questions now. Everything clear." Everything that you said is crystal clear. So many questions, so many doubts were there. Not just my question, but even the doubts that I carried for so many years is cleared. So that is what the spiritual path should be. You should be clear. If you do not have clarity on the path, you will be all the time skeptic, all the time in fear, all the time in doubt. So where there is doubt, there cannot be gati, there cannot be progress. So to clear those doubts, you have to ask. You have to have the courage to ask, find out. I'm not saying come and ask me only. If you want, you can. If you don't want, go and find out. Explore life. That is what Buddha said. Explore life. Be your own guide. Be your own light. Don't cling on to anything and everything around all the time. Then you'll never be free, because you come alone, you go alone. While the time comes to go alone, you're not ready. Then it will be a problem. So while you're alive, make these kind of changes, or bring these kind of changes in your life, where you can actually build up so much, muster so much of courage. And when you have clarity, you can walk alone. When you don't have clarity, you can't walk alone. You're scared all the time, because you don't know many things. And when you don't know is when you cling to something or the other. And Atma Sakshatkara, or self realization, is dropping all the clinging. Everything should go. In Kalagnana, you will see that Lord Shiva himself is revealing to Devi, to Parvati, because she wanted to know what is the secret of self realization or mukti, because she has reached to that level. Now she wants to, she's asking it on behalf, okay, behalf of the whole humanity. So you tell me and let all the humanity benefit, she says. And that is when Shiva says everything. And there he is talking about abandoning every single thing, one by one, gradually, including your beliefs and all your concepts. And Shiva says, until you hold on to even one concept, you are not going to get there. Even the final concept has to be dropped. So that is what I was telling everybody, the seekers also. The only concept that might last remain is this Kalagnana, those who are very serious. Because everything keeps dropping one by one, everything dropping. So finally, you have the teachings of Kalagnana. But the day everything drops, this final one thing also will drop, and it has to drop. Even this wisdom has to drop. That is Mukti, defined by Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva himself is saying this. And he says in the start, this is only for serious seekers. This is not for everybody. He doesn't use the word serious seekers. But because, see, when I say this, we will get shocks. Many people who sat in the thing also were getting shocked in the first session, but eventually they got used to it. They got acclimatized to the truth. And these are coming from Agama Shastras. Okay. These are all out of the Vedas only. So I'm not going deep into this, but I'm just giving a glimpse of what Kalagyana was all about. So Devi is asking Shiva, I want to know about the supreme wisdom and the code of conduct, means the method by which one can get liberation. And please answer me so that the whole humanity may get enlightened out of your grace. And then Shiva says, so that everyone may attain the knowledge, I shall clearly explain to you today the highest knowledge and the discipline to be followed, by which discerning seekers will attain liberation, which is free from any blemish and is difficult to describe. See, he is only saying it's difficult to describe. And he is also saying discerning seekers will surely attain liberation. Who are discerning seekers? The seekers who can discern between right and wrong. This viveka is very sharpened. And if you get to hear these things also, their viveka will immediately see what is truth and this. Unlike the others whose viveka is so dull and their mind is so high, you listen to some truths and you'll close off. You'll say, chalo aur kuch dekhte hain thoda der baad. Or you will get distracted, or you will get bored, or you will get scared, and you'll never listen completely, because you know it's very, 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 very uncomfortable. And you'll say, there is a lot of time for me to come to this kind of higher truth. So be it. So be it. That is why he says, Shiva says, it is only for discerning seekers, means mature seekers. It's not for everyone. And then he says, understand the one who is not able to realize this truth in his heart by this knowledge of spiritual wisdom known as Kalajnana can never attain it by even studying countless scores of scriptures spread out like the sky. So he says, if a seeker is not understanding Kalajnana and they're not able to get the truth out of Kalajnana, any number of scriptures they'll read under the whole sky, even the whole sky is covered with the scriptures, they will never understand it. That is why he said supreme wisdom. See, I'm not saying it. I'm not marketing it like supreme wisdom और कंपटीशन है चलो मेरा विजडम बड़ा है उससे विजडम बड़ा है तो मैं एक टाइटल डाल दूं सुप्रीम विजडम अल्टीमेट नो सी आई एम टेकिंग इट फ्रॉम हियर ओनली सी व्हाट डज शिवा से आई शैल क्लियरली एक्सप्लेन टू यू टुडे द हाईएस्ट नॉलेज एंड डिसिप्लिन टू बी फॉलोड इसके आगे कुछ नहीं है दिस इज द फाइनल देयर इज नथिंग मोर देन काल ज्ञान इट इज द last and supreme highest wisdom. If you want, you investigate and find out what is the truth. And Ramana Maharishi wrote an introduction to this whole jnana in which he says, short para, I'll quickly read it. This work is one of the Upa-agamas and explains the supreme wisdom to be attained by mature souls and their mode of life, expounded by Supreme Lord Shiva to Devi Parvati. It is the essence of Agama Shastras on matters of spiritual knowledge. This is verily the boat that can rescue the mortals struggling hard, sinking and rising in the sorrowful ocean of samsara, of the endless cycles of births and deaths, and will take them by direct path to the shore of liberation. Let all earnest seekers after truth, instead of groping in the dark, bewildered and losing their way, adopt the help of this straight path and reach the supreme state of bliss and peace. So even Ramana Maharishi says, he explains here what? This work is of Upa-agamas and explains the supreme wisdom to be attained by mature souls. That's what he says. So this is the seriousness of these texts. If you understand this, you will understand what is self-realization, you will understand what is liberation. It is not what we are thinking. You cannot meditate, do this, do that, and get into self-realization. All the doing has to stop. This is what I've been telling for past 2 years. This is a zone which does not have doing. The doing has to stop. And when the doing stops, the divine will takes over. Only when the free will stops, the divine will can take over. That journey towards self-realization or moksha is completely in the divine flow. It is not in my flow. That is where the catch is wrong. That zone, you can do a lot of things to purify your chitta. You can do this meditation, that meditation, this technique, that scripture, everything you can do. Bhajan, Sankirtan, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Raj Yoga, everything you can do. But only when your chitta, when your consciousness reaches the Vishuddhi, then from here Jnana Marga opens. Below this is all Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Raj Yoga. From here, this is also Raj Yoga only, but it starts thinning and the wisdom opens up. The whole wisdom, this kind of what Kala Jnana. This Jnana is not supposed to be told by books. This Jnana comes when somebody's state of consciousness comes here automatically. Shiva reveals it to them. Shiva is the internal self itself. I'm not talking about a god sitting somewhere. Please understand this. Because when we were talking about Shiva explaining to Devi Parvati, everybody came religiously and thought that, okay, I'm doing some, what do you call that? Hmm, some katha on what Shiva told. It is not a katha, it is completely scientific and it's very much related to your consciousness. It is the Satpurusha, the divine supreme consciousness, explaining, not even explaining, and that zone, because Shiva consciousness, nirguna, nirakara, formless and without any guna. He cannot sit and give any kind of wisdom, preaching to anybody. So, saguna form, it can happen. That's a different thing. So if you are a seeker who are looking from the saguna form, then you can feel okay, Shiva is talking to Parvati in the saguna form. But it is even more than that, it's deeper than that. Because if you go to the nirguna, there is only Sat and Chit together. Sat is the Sat Purusha, that is eternal, the witnesser. He is only witnessing Nirgun Nirakara. He is not involved in the world. He is not involved in creation. He is not interested in anything. He is simply pure awareness. Shiva consciousness, the Nirguna Nirakara, is simply pure awareness. From the awareness, the Chit splits out. Then the creation begins. And where it split out is where the Bindu, if you know Sri Vidya, that's that Kendra Bindu, from where that split happens. And the moment Chit splits out, Chitta or Shakti is the one who wants to create the world, who is interested in the world, this Maya world. It's not Shiva's work. So the moment Chit comes out with that creation, that thought, what you call the first thought to create, the whole creation, the whole Prakriti, all the dimensions are created from there. That is why from the Bindu, the whole triangular shape that you can see, that is all the creation till Patala Loka. From Shakti to Patala Loka is the creation, Prakriti. If you read Sankhya philosophy of Kapila Mahamuni, you will understand the 24 tattvas, how the whole creation came. So anyway, that's not so important here. What I'm trying to tell you is the one who created the Shakti came out from the it was Sat and Chit were together, and that's the most blissful state, Sat Chit Ananda. And Sat is who? The Shiva consciousness, just a witness, pure awareness. That's it. So whenever Shakti creates anything, the whole Prakriti around it, Shiva is still experiencing and a witnesser to the whole creation. So the creation is created, it is maintained, and dissolution happens. And it merges back into the Sat. And Sat Chit, they blend back. Satchidanand. That's the original state of what it is. So this is all the time happening. It comes out, all the Prakriti, all the dramas, maybe for eons. For you and me, we talk it like yugas. But there it is one like a breath. One breath out and the whole creation is out. And one breath in, the whole creation is in. So for us, it might be yugas. So this is how the whole creation comes and goes. And this Sat is talking to, or is in commune, silent communication. So when this creation has created everything, and now it is ready to go back and merge back into the Sat, this Shakti is just looking at the Sat, and from the Sat, the whole wisdom is flowing. Because the whole, it is cosmic intelligence, Shiva consciousness. Though he is just a witnesser, but complete cosmic intelligence, infinite, the infinite being, the null, the shunya, the mahashunya, the great void, whatever you want to call it, the darkness, the nothingness, that self, that akash tattva, that chidakasha is Shiva consciousness. Consciousness, again, I'm telling you, it's a consciousness which has been named as Shiva. That consciousness has been named as Shiva. And this is the same consciousness that Mahavir in Jainism and Buddha in Buddhism talked about. You can see the words like Mahashunya and all that even in Buddhism. And here, if you see in Vedas, it has been used. Upanishads, it has been used. Mahashunya, Mandukya Upanishad. And then you see even in Buddhism, this is there. So you might feel confused. How these are separate and they are not together. Buddhism is never considered together with this knowledge. So then how did they know it? There is mention of it even in the Buddhism. So you might say they copied it from there or they referred it from there, but I don't think they went to do it. Buddha was not interested in anything. He was experimental. He was only experimenting with himself, with his consciousness. And that is where the Kalagnana, all these deep secrets were revealed to him. So that Mahashunya is not everybody's or anybody's private copyright. Anybody who attains that kind of a state, it will be revealed to them. That's how even he came to know. So these are the deep secrets of creation. And when Shiva is talking to Parvati, means the Sat and the Chit, they are in communication, silent communication, because the whole wisdom jnana is there in that Sat, that Shiva consciousness. So when it is turned towards creation, the Shakti is moving downwards, which you call it as Srishti Chakra in Sri Vidya. Two triangles, one upward and one downward. They make a star. So down is the Srishti Chakra, all the creation. So when Shakti is looking downwards, it's coming down, not looking towards Shiva. But when it is moving upward, it is looking towards Shiva. Now the whole Sanghar Chakra is happening. The dissolution is happening. And that is when it is turning its face now to Shiva consciousness. And that is what this document is all about. The Shakti, the Chitta, is symbolically told. It is now asking Shiva what to do now for liberation, what is to be done, so that the whole humanity, her creation only, can get liberated. And then Shiva, through that silent communication, through the Dakshinamurti form, is giving all this gyan. It is flowing, it's all the time flowing. It's not that it's not there, it's flowing from that eternal Shiva consciousness. It's there. But what does it mean? Until we turn towards that self, we won't get this Kala Jnana. So till we are in the Shrishti, we are away from Kala Jnana. We are only creating, like the Shakti, busy creating. But the moment we turn towards that self, the whole Kala Jnana is revealed, and that the whole secrets are revealed. So this is how beautiful this whole, and this is not there, dear ones, not there in any books, any internet. You search it out. This came to me as a revelation when I was contemplating and meditating on it. I'm very sure it's not there anywhere, because I haven't seen. I tried to refer from the internet something, but I couldn't get anything. So this has come from my deep contemplation, which you might want to experiment and do it. Don't just trust me, believe me. But when Ramanaji and the text itself says about all this, we understand. And yes, that is what I'm trying to tell you. Until you turn towards the self, and the moment, the day you are completely agreeing that you're turning towards the self, your free will start be snatching away. The free will start reducing automatically, because free will is an enemy of your life goal. Sorry, not life goal for moksha. Free will cannot be used for the final liberation. You can just in the start give a kickstart. I want a liberation, and you start moving. But as you move there, you'll see that slowly your free will is going. And this is what I wanted to tell you. All the seekers who have embraced this tattva, who have embraced spirituality, will see eventually their free will is going out. 1 second. Many become very confused when they are moving towards the self. Yatra to shuru kar di, they started, but now they see that things don't happen according to what they want and how they want. That is simply an indication that your free will doesn't work. And that is what all these higher scriptures are talking about. Even the capacity to create and manifest will start reducing, because now the real creator takes over. Till then, this duplicate creator is creating this false I. This false I, fallen into the Maya, fallen into the ego state, which now it wants to create something for itself, which is all downward pull again. That's the samsara. So when this false I is working, it will naturally work only towards downward pull, toward the Shrishti Chakra. And that is when it becomes too greedy to become the creator. It wants to create and create. You are powerful, you can create. There is no doubt about it. Whatever you start creating will manifest, but they have their limitations. That's what I'm trying to tell. You cannot create everything. Try it. There is no person on this earth who has created everything. No single person on this earth who wanted, came with desires, and who had so many plans. I want this, I want this, I want this. Even if he was a master, super master in his brain, most brilliant scientists also who knew the law of manifestations or creation, even they could not manifest everything, could not create everything. So that's very clear and obvious that we, the false I, can create only in the false world. Listen carefully. This false I can create only in this false world and only false things. What are false things? Anything and everything that is temporary, that are false because they don't, uska अस्तित्व नहीं है. There's no reality in it. And all that we create, houses, wealth, name, status, humans, children's, anything you create here is all temporary and you can't take it with you. Whatever you create is not going to be with you forever. That is what I mean by false creation. What is real creation? What is real? Real is only yourself because yourself existed always. It has no death, it never dies because it's coming from that mahashunya, that nothingness, that great Shiva consciousness. We are all sparks of that. So we are all sparks. We can create our blissfulness, our eternal blissfulness and peace and contentment, which is a true state. We can remain in that, but anything apart from that, we cannot. And the whole mad rush, if you see, after taking birth or after coming out from the Shiva consciousness, our whole life after lifetimes, maybe even millions of lifetimes, has just been in creating the false world, false things for us. So, as we create more and more false things, the pain and misery begins because now what we create, we want to hold on to, we want to sustain it. You can't even sustain. You may even create to a certain extent, but you can't sustain. You see, you might get married to somebody, you might win the heart of somebody with a lot of difficulty. Okay, you have created a situation. But once you create, now the whole tension for that person is to maintain it. Because there is no guarantee, no relationship, there is 100% guarantee when the split can happen or when the time to divide will happen. Even if you say no, this is the best, death will divide you. Something or the other is there to keep you away. It will be snatched away from you. So, what is this real creation? What we say? Creation. And if this is not real, then what are we creating? Again and again, all the time. One creation finished, unable to sustain it, unable to maintain it, and the destruction happened, it's gone, then the next. So, why are we creating all the time downward pull? It's because we are seeking that happiness that we get after manifesting it. You look at anything that you want in life, you manifested it. The moment you got it, you have been blissful, you've been happy. That happiness now you want to pull because your state is the true happiness, peace, and contentment. But it's not here, it's there. but you are seeing a reflection of that Satchidananda in these things. Satchidananda's reflection is only Ananda. Ananda means limited, limited happiness. So, in every single thing, when you get it, the happiness that you get, the joy that you get, the blissfulness that you get, the satisfaction that you get, the peace that you get is your true nature, and you like to abide in that. So, the moment you achieve something in life, or get something in life, or create something in life, you are blissful that moment. But then, slowly, when you try to keep that blissfulness or sustain it, you see that it's not standing, it's not in your hands. Then your whole rush is to sustain it, hook or crook, because that peace, that bliss, that thing that you, the enjoyment, the happiness that you enjoyed, you want to sustain and pull it. You got a body, you are happy. You celebrated your birthdays, you are happy. You had a physique, 8 packs, and I don't know how many muscles and triceps and biceps and all those things. You're very happy maintaining it, showing it off, demonstrating it, and keeping that maintaining. But one day it will go. Old age will take it away, or disease might take it, or death might take it. Something might take it, but it will go. Now your struggle is to sustain that body as much as possible. You look at the whole face. 10 years back, 20 years back, how beautiful it was, how fresh it was. Then it starts slowly becoming stale. Wrinkles are coming, hairs are falling, and the hairs are graying. So there's a change happening. How painful it is. Every time you look at the mirror, it's painful. Oh my God. It's gone. It's going. You know it's going. The body is going. You know that. So then when the body is going, the pain, that misery, that miserableness, all the time that you're holding on to, and the trying. Now, what is the truth? The truth is that the body will perish. But what is the false I telling? Create falsely. What to create? Create health, create glamour, create beauty. Now, if the Vivek is not strong, it will believe the mind, oh, create, let's create. Then it will go to the beauty parlor, or it will go to a cosmetologist or cosmetic surgeon and say, do some facelifts, do some liposuction, take out all those extra fats and all those things, and marmat karo, thodo podo, sharir ko, or just beautify it. And hair implants, implant hairs, breast implants, all the falseness, fix it up on my body. Let me carry that falseness for some more time, how much ever time. And the whole effort is to sustain that, terribly to sustain that. And in that sustenance, the pain, the misery, the fear is there, because you know it is going to go. Sooner or later, it's going to go. So constantly fear, not accepting life the way it is, not accepting that this is all a time pass you are come here to do. Out of your own karmic patterns, you come here. So once you finish it, you got to go back. So if this is clear, what is the big fuss all about? If you anyhow got to go one day, then what is all the fuss about sustenance of so many things? Can you see the foolishness that the whole world is involved in? Trying to sustain everything, relationships, its properties, its wealth, its name, fame. Now, see those who have got intoxicated with the name and fame, very difficult to sustain that. Very, very difficult. Then the whole struggle is to now to sustain it or increase it, the kingdom. Alexander was never happy. Having conquered one kingdom, he wanted another, then another. Because his feeling is that if I keep on capturing, and the pleasure that I get, the satisfaction, the joy that I get when I rule over some country, when I take possession of something, that gives me that power. So that power is his motivation. That power is the peace that he's feeling, the contentment that he's feeling. But poor thing, poor chap, that contentment is not full, complete. Because once he does that, again he's feeling little more, one more country. Then he goes again with that. What doing, then he's never satisfied. Then he says, no, I want to conquer the whole continents, all of it. I want to rule over the world. Because he feels that once I rule over the world, finally I reach my goal. But he would, if he would have done that also, he would have been miserable. And that is what he said in the end. Both his hands out of the tomb, said, keep my both the hands out of the tomb and say, let it show to the world what I have taken. Came empty handed, leaving empty handed. Alexander the Great. And it took him a whole lifetime to learn that lesson. Till the end of his life, he would not accept it. It's not that he was not told. He was told. He was told by many sages also in India when he came. But no acceptance until life teaches. So that's our situations also. We will struggle to create, to sustain, to maintain till our last breath, and that is what makes us suffer all our life. And anyhow, if we have been suffering, even in the end also we will suffer and go, because we are unable to hold on to. Why we are unable to hold on to? Why we are not happy? Because we have not accepted this simple fact, this truth of how and what this life is. Those who are ready after maybe all the lessons, or who are mature enough, are wanting to know what is further, what is the truth, and they will end up in reading these kind of scriptures, or finding it will come to, it will walk to you, it will walk into your laps. The truth will walk into your laps if you have a seeking urge, the mumukshatva, strong seeking. It will just come to you. You don't have to go anywhere. That's the law. So when you get that law in your hand and when you understand the divine laws, then you will understand that so much of limitations you have. Life is so limited. And one thing you will come to know, you'll surely come to know that life doesn't function as you think. You may think that life is this way. That's your false definition, because you have been in the false world. When you are in the false world, you have only false hopes, false dreams. You're looking at a false world, false creations. You have more strength and ability in your creation. You want life to be the way you want to be. It's not just your problem, it's everybody's problem. Every single human being on this earth wants life their way. Look at it. Don't we want life our way? Don't we want everything to go our way? And what happens when things don't go our way? Intense suffering. You get depressed. You get hurt. What is getting hurt there? Find out. Your false hopes, the false understanding of life. So, what if I don't learn this lesson? Life is very patient. It will keep on presenting you the same lessons again and again. And you will continue to get that pain again and again till you learn it. And there's no end to it. You might say there's an end. Let me end this life. No going anywhere. You'll come back right here. Perhaps with a little more lessons, because that's how karma works. We are here to learn lessons. We are here to learn what life exactly is. We are not here to learn what life is not. You look out worldly, you look out anything apart from yourself in the wrong direction, the whole world will teach you what you are not. And the whole world is suffering, including the teachers of the world are suffering. All the great ones who are inspiring the world to be more worldly and to go in the other direction, you look at them, they are also miserable, they are also confused, they also have fears, they do not know what is the truth, because they know what they are creating also is not permanent. So the whole catch comes from there. Maintenance, sustenance. Now if I have followers, how many thousand followers, how many lakh followers, then the whole process, my energy will go in sustenance, because the moment followers go down, it's a red signal for me. Oh, I'm losing the battle, or something is happening, or my kingdom is getting snatched away. But I am Alexander the Great. I want to create the whole world. I want to grab the whole world. And so I very badly market myself again now. I will go to any levels. Oh, you like to hear the false truth? Okay, I'll tell you the false truth. But be here. Be a part of the whole thing so that I can I can enjoy my dream through you. So, so if I want to enjoy my dream, and if I am very wise enough, I know how to make that dream true through you. If you are dumb enough, so I make my dream come true through you. And what's my dream? To rule over the world. Alexander the Great. And what did he learn in the end? This is called Maya. This is called ignorance. अच्छे अच्छे को ले लेते हैं चपेटे में. Even the best of people can get into this. You look at history, you'll see. Even the Maharishis have fallen for it. And हम कौन से खेत की मूली है? Who are we if you compare that way? How cautious should we be? How much should we sharpen our intellect? And that's what Buddha's message was. Research, do your investigation, find the truth, and live your truth. Apo Deepo Bhava. Be your own light. And that is what he learned. He told all his disciples when he was leaving his body, Apo Deepo Bhava, the last words of Buddha. What did it mean? Be your own light. Be a light unto yourself. You only can save yourself. Imagine a master telling that on his deathbed to the disciple, how shocking it would be. Because all are standing there hoping now, if our master is here, he is our redeemer. He is going to take care of us. He is going to look into us. And my master now, Buddha, is leaving. So I gather around him, saying that one something, he will give me some assurance that I don't worry, I'm going to be around. You keep depending on me. I'll take care of you. You don't have to stand on your feet. You don't have to become independent. You be a slave to me. You cling on to me. And then I will, even after leaving the body, be around you. But they were shocked when Buddha said, Appo Deepo Bhava. When he said, you are your own light. Follow your own light. The biggest shock that they could have got. Buddha was a very practical man. Very, very practical. So his teachings were very, very practical and simple. We can learn a lot from Buddhas. Many Buddhas have done this. So the whole lessons coming to us is only trying to teach us one thing. Accept life the way it is. Whatever is coming your way, be humble and have enough gratitude to take life in your stride, because what's coming to you is nothing but your cup of tea. You have forgotten the cups you have served in some other janmas. So if a drawback comes to your life, if a pain or misery come to your life, if a failure comes to your life, it's nothing but your own cup of tea that you served one day is returning back to you. There is no injustice in this world. It's just law of equilibrium. It will just try to make things leveled. That's how you finish your imbalances. You have taken birth here to finish your imbalances. Simple terms. You are, but what we do, we create more imbalances in ignorance. Instead of clearing those imbalances, and balancing life, we create more imbalances. And if we create more imbalances today out of ignorance, nobody but us only is going to suffer multiple times than what we are suffering now. Because it's a boomerang effect. This is what has to be realized. This is why this human body has been given, to realize this particular truth. And life will not settle until it teaches us, every one of us, this truth that Life doesn't go the way you want it to. We have learned all this time and we have known only one aspect of life. Life goes the way we want. However, what I want, I can manifest my life. You can, but you have limitations. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If not, just look out into the world and you see how many people are actually creating it. Because even in your creation, what supports your creation is your prarabdha. समय से पहले और हिसाब से ज्यादा किसी को कुछ नहीं मिलता. This is the law of karma. Before time and what you deserve to get, you cannot have more than that. So if Mr. A or Miss A is creating something and Miss A succeeds in creating whatever they want to create, please understand that creation also is supported by their own prarabdha, which they were destined to get. Very simple. Mr. B or Miss B is trying to create, but never able to get it. What is the underlying factor working here? It is the prarabdha also in play. What they are supposed to get, they will get. What they are not supposed to do, whatever, you will not get. This is a very clear, very clear funda of spirituality, which if you go deeper, you will come to know. On a grosser level, it is all fine that we create, we manifest, we do everything that we want, we try to do, not do everything. We try to do, keep trying, and all those things. Fine. To keep life going, that's all fine. To be motivated, to just fulfill our dreams. And most of it does happen because your dreams are nothing but your own desires, your own karma. Because of those karmas only you have taken birth. So obviously, most of those karmas or your dreams, so-called desires or dreams, will come true sooner or later because that is why you have taken that birth for. But however, sometimes due to your own karmas which are negative or in the opposite direction, which was done before, there can be obstacles. Everything is working according to the law of karma, and you can't understand that. You try to understand with your mind, you'll never understand the game of karma. So, in spirituality, even here on this platform, shifting into awareness, what I am teaching and what I'm trying to teach is just this in different language. What I talk about is more you move into awareness, the more you are moving into free will. That's the zone of free will. That's the zone of the cosmic intelligence. The cosmic intelligence that is very much, many million times more, infinite times more intelligent than the little brain that I have and that I boast and think I am very intelligent. How much intelligent I am? Obviously, the one who created this intelligent being, how intelligent should that person be? Can that person be? Think about it. If human beings, the scientists, those who are creating artificial intelligence and all that, their brains are going to such extent, what must be the intelligence of the one who created these beings? You just understand with this kind of funda, it's very clear that there is a very much powerful intelligence that knows how to lead life, the same intelligence that created this whole world, that same intelligence that is sustaining it for a period of time, and the same that will dissolve it after some period of time. So there is a process without yours and my permission that's going on. You and me are not aware of this, but in the background it is running. If you still don't believe me, just contemplate on this. If you feel that everything is according to our destiny and how my creation, the whole collective consciousness is collectively creating something, that's a myth. It feels like that. I create something, somebody creates something. altogether puts, everybody is creating something. So on the ratio of creation, the whole collective is said to be very true. That's happening, very true. But there is an underlying force that is giving force to that also. The whole collective also is moving in a certain pace, in a certain way, that is in a pre-designed grid. It's a pre-designed grid, but it looks like you all have the free will and choices and all that. But the choice, if you look deeply, is motivated by previous karmas, and it is motivated by previous karmas. If you go one karma after the cause and effect, it is all coming from the highest source. It is all coming from the beginning, from where all this whole creation came. From there only everything is tumbling down. Even you and me sitting down here, we are results of millions of karma, years of karma, or millions of lifetimes of karma. It is just boomeranging, playing itself. This life also has been taken because there is karma, some karma. Now, did you decide your birth? If we feel we are creating everything, did you and me create birth? You're not even aware. You got thrown into this world. Even when you were born, you were not aware. Even forget that. Even maximum population, till they die, also they are not aware that they were thrown here by their own karmas. And what will propel them in the next life? The same, this balance sheet of this lifetime karma plus the previous. So if you see, life is an invisible grid of happening. It's automatically taking place without yours and my permission. Now you are sitting and digesting food. Are you digesting it? There's a lot of digestion happening right now in your tummy, and everybody is busy inside your tummy, but nobody is taking your permission. Nobody is bothered about you. Who cares? Nobody cares. They are minding their own business. They are doing their dharma. Your lungs are breathing. Are they taking your permission? They are breathing. Your brains are sending electrical circuits throughout your nerves and sustaining the whole process. Is it taking your permission? Nobody cares. Secretions are happening up and down inside. Hormones are being secreted. Chemicals are being secreted. Enzymes are being secreted. Who cares for your permission? Nobody. Blood is being circulated throughout your body. Heart is busy pumping. Does the heart take your permission? It doesn't care for you. It's minding its own business. All the departments within you are all minding their own business. Nobody cares to even ask your permission. So if you look at this whole body right now sitting here, something else only is functioning it. Where is free will? How much free will do you and me have? How much will do I have here? To sit and talk? How much free will do you have to sit and listen? You might say. If you go deeper, you'll see that also you don't have. I also don't have. I might say I came here and started talking. You might say you came here, decided here to come and listen to this. But just think, go deeper. You'll come to know that no, some thought influenced you to come and sit here. Now, if you go to find out what that thought influenced you, there will be some other factor to that, and cause and effect. You'll go. If you go deeper, if you have the time to sit and investigate, you'll see that it will go to your womb straight, and then go behind to your previous life, and then another life before, and then that's how it proceeds. Everything is a cause and effect, every single thing. If you still don't believe me, one simple funda you contemplate and think right now and tell practically. What is this now? Kali Yuga. Moving towards Satyuga. Now, if you and me decide हमको सतयुग नहीं चाहिए, कलयुग ही चाहिए अपने को, do you think that's going to happen? Even if collectively everybody decides and says no, we'll have Kali Yuga only, will not go. Do you think the whole prakriya, the creation, everything will just stop? When you move into Satyuga, and you say, this is blissful, this is divinely, godly, so much of beauty here, we will not leave this state. Let it be like this. Can you preserve it? आज तक कोई प्रिजर्व नहीं कर पाया. Nobody has been able to do that. Means what? Satyuga, Kaliyuga, Dwapar Treta Yuga, these yugas are already predestined and it is moving like a clock in that. Where is yours and my free will? Tell me. Where is our free will in this? Once you understand this, that the whole prakriya, the whole life is moving in a certain fashion, once you become aware of this, you will just embrace the beauty of life and this cosmic intelligence which is managing life so beautifully. Everything has been managed very beautifully. What spoils the whole game is my intelligence, thinking that I should take control. Imagine I trying to take control and snatching the control or snatching that process from that divine controller or that cosmic intelligence and saying that let me use my head a little bit and let me try to create something. Now, the free will is something like somebody will interfere. You can do that. But you will see that even if you try to do that, you will be still influenced by your past karmas. If you do not have a certain thing in you, you are not going to get it. Do whatever you want. It will not happen. This is why all the Maharishis, even Bhagavan Ramana very clearly told this. Whatever has to happen will happen. However you try to do it, it is not going to change. And whatever is not destined to happen will not happen, whatever you try to do to make it happen. Not make it happen or make it happen. It will just move. So once you understand, and it might take lifetimes for us to understand this. Huh? I'm not saying that you understand it one session. Even if you don't believe it, it's okay. I always say that life is the greatest guru. Gurus, biggest of all the gurus, the guru of all gurus, life. It will teach, not in this lifetime, some other lifetime. And that is how we have been ludakte yahan tak aaye, because we have not learned it. We didn't accept it. So life is okay. You go on with it. So one day, when a person understands through easiness, very spontaneously, naturally, you might understand it, or you might understand with lot of troubles in life, after a lot of pain. Many actually get awakened only through pain, sufferings. Suffering is so much, ab saha nahi jata. And that is the time they come on their feet and they say, okay, now you take care. That is the time they remember, okay, there is something else other than this false I, this little I. There is some other intelligent being. Now, when I cannot handle it, you handle it. But most of the time, unfortunately, it comes when it comes to the extreme point. When you can't handle it anymore, then finally the ego dies down, falls off, and then the surrender. You take over. That's the whole process of life. So it can be learned through suffering or it can be learned through other sufferings. And you can take over that thing and understand that the more I have free will in my life, which means ego, the more I will try to take control of life and the more I will try to manipulate and control life. It's so difficult to control life which is going in a certain way. It is going, the cosmic intelligence is going in a certain beautiful natural rhythm. You cannot create another rhythm and saying that, no, I want to change the rhythm. See, there are laws. We have to understand this. There are certain way the cosmos functions. Not, it doesn't take your permission or my permission. Just like your body itself is not taking your permission. The cosmos, you think the cosmos will take our permissions? Our own body doesn't, abhi digest karo. Or it will say that, does your body even take uh, decisions for excretion? You might say, no, it's my wish that I go to the toilet. You don't go to the toilet. Say, I'll not go and see what happens. It will make you do that. This is how life is. You can't prevent it. You can't stop it. You have to go with the flow. See, you are already going with the flow. You're not maybe probably seeing it. That you are going with, like, for example, if you are getting hungry, you have no option. You can't say, I know I'll not have anything food. My wish. After some time, you'll have to give up and fall for that hunger. You have to eat something. You want to go and excrete or you want to urinate, you have no choice. You can't say, no, today I will not do it. Or another 2 days I'll not do it. You can't. It will force you to do it. That's the nature's law. There is free will. You can't say, no, I want to fly. You can't fly. Law of gravitation is working on you. I don't care for it. It will also not care for you. Try flying, you'll break our bones. So we are bound by gravity. Here, whole earth is bound by gravity. Where is the free will? So many things. Maximum of our life is running on an automatic mode. We are not observing that. In that only we are feeling we are controlling. We try to take control and we believe that's what is Maya. It will make you feel that it is true. And how difficult, how easy it is to get fooled. Everything that looks is not real, but how easily we can get fooled. That's the nature of Prakriti. That's the power of Maya. You go out and stand and look at the sky. And you ask somebody, in the school they ask, what is the color of the sky? Children will tell, children, even if children ask, teachers will tell it is the sky is blue. Or the answer is sky is blue. But in reality, sky is never blue. One simple thing like the sky also, when we are looking at it, we are looking at the false sky. And we believe it is sky. It is a blue sky. There is no blueness there. It has no color. It is only to the reflection of light, it looks blue. It's the whole world is like this. This is what Bhagavan Nityananda says in Chidakasha Gita. Develop subtle discrimination. Subtle discrimination, this is what we are talking. Even the sukshma things you should be able to observe in life. That is where he says you will catch where Maya is. Otherwise, very difficult. You can keep saying Maya, hai, Maya. You'll never understand what is Maya. You have to have this kind of discretion. And you must have this kind of discretion to even understand that my life is not really run by me. Something is running it. And if if I am the true runner of my life, can I say I can run my life the next moment? I don't know. I might feel, oh, tomorrow I have to wake up. Oh, tomorrow I have a project. I'm on a big project. I'm creating a big project. So tomorrow I'll be here doing this project, and next month I'm doing that project, and by the year 2030 we are planning to have this project. Who knows? 2030 nahi, next 30 seconds you don't know where you are. But how real it looks tomorrow, oh, all these things, the doership. Oh, I got to do this. I have to. I'll be there. I'll be surely there. We tell people. Who knows? There is no guarantee. And if there is no surety of what we are speaking, next moment we'll do, tomorrow we will do, that will do. Where is free will? We are only believing there is free will. So, whatever happens in life is going according to a certain grid, and in that grid is our own karma also. The whole structure of life, all the millions of beings that are there, all the beings are all coming from that structured layer of their own karmas, collective karmas. So it's all running in a certain grid. So if something comes your hand, you're okay with it. Oh, it's come. Wow. Something doesn't come your hand. Wow. Not meant for me. As simple as it. Once you realize this and just accept things, who knows where your destiny is going to take you? Sometimes we catch on to the most stupidest things on earth and sit because we want to create it, because we feel that is right. But on a higher term, if you look, that might be a curse for you. I've seen it so many times in my own life. What once upon a time looked at so beautiful. Ah, this is how life should be. I will do this. And when I don't get it, I fret and fuel. And later, after some years, I say, God, I didn't get that. If I would have got that, blah, 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 all these things. So, spiritual beings who are getting awakened will be in this kind of a dilemma. They will face this again and again. Because once you start turning towards the divine will by doing the practices, like we are doing the divine presence and all those things, you are activating that things and you are becoming aware of a divine presence within you that is taking care of your life. And if there are two aspects in me, there is a divine presence, then there is something else apart from that also, which my divine presence is becoming aware of. That is the falseness. That will go one day. Divine presence will never go. That's there to be there. It's infinite and it's immortal. So, if I hold on to that divine presence, I will be holding on to the divine will, because that the divine will function through the divine presence. Ego functions through my ego. Free will functions through my ego. God functions through divine will. So there is always a battle going on within us. Somewhere there is little divinity, and somewhere there is my pakad. I want to control life. I want to. The more we come into the I want to do, the karta, the doer, had it. Because all the time you're never happy with the results of life. Because all the time you have expectations. Life should be this way, life should be that way. You define things life. Why am I defining things life? Because I feel I'm more greater than the cosmic one. And if you look, that knows, that grid knows where it is taking you and what is the best way to liberate you. What should be given to you, what should not be given to you. It knows. It's just like a small child who catches cold and now is, because the child may catch a cold, the parents are not giving ice cream to it. Now look at the child. The child is greedy for the ice cream. It feels the pleasure, the contentment, the whole happiness is in that ice cream. It is only viewing the ice cream. Now it is asking the parents, give me ice cream. Now the parents know that the ice cream is going to cause trouble for this child, so they say no. It is not because they don't love the child. Because they love their child, they're not giving the ice cream. As simple as that. Now you can put the parents for God and the child as you. Now what happens if that is the God is and the parents are not giving ice cream? What will the child look at life from the child's point of view? That is your point of view. You will only see that I did not get the ice cream. I want it right now. And if you are too fussy about it, you will start throwing tantrums. You will cry there. What does the child do? It will cry, it will weep, it will throw tantrums, it will fall, it will throw its own body there. It will do everything to catch the attention of the parents, to woo the parents, and to give me that ice cream. But parents are parents. They know their children, why they are crying. And even if they cry, they are doing it for the best of their children. They will not give. No means no. It is going to cause you harm. Now the child doesn't know it is going to cause harm. All that it knows is in the moment is the vasana, the greed for it. Hook or crook, I need it. All that I want to fulfill it. So I don't care about God. I don't care about parents. I don't want what you want. I want this. And what will happen? If that ice cream is given, let's say you're too fussy and you win the war and you win over the God or you win over the parents and you say, I want this ice cream, otherwise I am going to do something to myself. I'll harm myself. Now let's say the cosmic intelligence is a little compassionate. It never falls for all those things, anyways. But still, let us say, from a human point of view, because human examples we are giving, the parents give the ice cream. Child will catch a cold, fall sick, and then get medicine, injections. all the sufferings, all the breaks. And now the child has learned I should have listened to my parents because my parents know something better than me, but the child will immediately not catch that. It needs a couple of such kind of episodes to happen, and then finally it will realize, oh, okay, whatever my parents are saying, it's for the good only. So now next time anything comes, what the child will do is, okay, you do whatever you want. He will not feel bad. Child will not feel hurt, dejected, or throw tantrums. He will say, okay, तेरी रजा में मेरी रजा, जो शिवाज्ञा, जिस विधि राखे उस विधि रही. These are all the three quotes from my Gurudev. He would say this. He would say that there is a stage beyond creation, but it takes something to reach there. But once that stage comes, it is तेरी रजा में मेरी रजा, जो शिवाज्ञा, जिस विधि राखे उस विधि रही. जो शिवाज्ञा means thy will be done, what Jesus said. जिस विधि राखे उस विधि रही means in whichever circumstances I am kept, I live happily without complaints. हर हाल में खुश. जिस विधि राखे उस विधि रही. तेरी रजा में मेरी रजा also is the same. Thy will be done. Whatever is thy will, so be it my will. Why? Now that stage is coming from a good mature realization that ultimately your will only happens. But till we reach that stage, these episodes of ice cream, crying, cribbing, threatening, the child will threaten that if you don't give me an ice cream, I'll do something. I'll not eat food. Or maybe I'll cut my hand. Or I'll hurt myself. Now, if the parents are weak, they'll fall for it. And when they fall for it, the child also will fall. Both are going to get damaged. But in cosmic intelligence, it's not, because that's cosmic intelligence. It knows the outcome of everything. At the most, what is going to happen. There is no question of doing harm. There is nothing called doing harm. Because first of all, there is nothing called death in cosmic intelligence. You can never die. So if somebody even kills themselves, they are not going to just die. They have just thrown away their body. That's all. But they will come back again to experience the same thing. So from that point of view, that merciful God is so merciful that it will only still show you the right way only. Despite all your tantrums, you can't threaten God. You may threaten your parents, but you can't threaten the cosmic intelligence. Because there is no end to anything. There everything is transmutation. Everything is moving towards good only. In the cosmic intelligence also, if you see, everything is moving towards good only, the highest good of everybody. It is favorable to everybody. Only thing we need to realize the flow of life. And that's how life is going. So the moment you understand the flow of life, you are okay with everything. And that is what Rishi Prabhakarji, I learned from that. His mantra, Mool mantra was everything is okay. Who can say everything is okay? Everything is okay and har hal mein khush are no difference. It's the same. जिस विधि राखे उस विधि रही, तेरी रजा में मेरी रजा, जो शिवा गया, thy will be done. All these is equivalent to everything is okay. हर हाल में खुशी. So what is life trying to teach? What are these masters trying to teach? Now these things are not very popular. तेरी रजा में मेरी रजा, hardly anybody has heard it. And he cannot talk about it right now because not everybody is ready. Everybody is busy in the creation zone. I want to create. Everybody is in the ice cream zone. I want to eat this ice cream. I want to eat gulab jamun. I want to eat this, that. Eat. Life will teach us that if you keep on eating everything, you are going to get indigestion. So through experience, you will see that you will get indigestion. Our buddhi, our vivek also keeps telling us that you will get indigestion. Our vivek and buddhi is nothing but God. That's supreme consciousness. But if our buddhi is dull, we can't hear it, and then we perform everything according to our minds. That is why Chidakasha Gita, Bhagavan is telling again and again, develop your buddhi, your intellect, your viveka, because from that is the tool of the God consciousness. That is divine will. And that is exactly what I've been talking for 2 years almost. Divine will over free will. Free will has to go. Even if it doesn't go, it will be taken away. And as you proceed, if you are interested in Urdhagati, you'll see that free will is going. Your life is just becoming a spontaneous activity. And there is so much of freedom in spontaneous activity because now I'm not sitting and controlling my life and others' life. I don't have the time to sit and waste my energy on all this. Whatever comes, I'm taking. What is meant to be will be in my life. What is not meant to be will not be in my life. Simple as that. There is no brooding. There is no cribbing. There is no complaint. What has to stay in my life will stay. What is to not stay in my life will not stay. What I have to receive, I'll receive. What I'll not receive, I'll not receive. So what comes to me, I take it like prasad, Guru prasad, Paramatma prasad. And what doesn't come to me, also I take it as prasad, Mahaprasad. Because I know that's where it is taking me. That's the will of the Lord. Whatever and however that cosmic intelligence wants to keep, let it keep. It knows the best. Because that much trust we must be having that the divine will never do something against our good. It will always work for what is for our highest good. So, if anything doesn't come into our hands, be honored, be humbled, be grateful that it's not come. Because who knows? Who knows? There is something else waiting for you. Sometimes our eyes are on something else, but there must be greater gifts waiting for you in life. I have seen it in my own life multiple times where I thought my life is going to be, it has never been. I'm telling you very clearly. All my life I've failed in this one thing. And if you ask everybody, everybody is failing, but nobody will tell because everybody wants to be a great success man, very successful. We always fail in our expectations. Everybody fails. I failed in every aspect of my life. I was thinking, okay, life is going this way, or it's going here. I'll do. Then I think, before knowing my life has taken a turn, it has gone somewhere. And then I try to manipulate that. And then I'll do. Then again, I see life is taking somewhere else. Then, whenever life is moving to some other zone, I get disturbed. And for some time, I get very bad feeling. And I might even curse my life, my karma, my parents, my teachers, the whole world, the government, God. I blame everyone, criticize everyone. Why? Because I'm frustrated to that level. Every level, it's going wrong. And then after some time, I get acclimatized to that new zone because we are all helpless beings. See, it's like a girl who says, I want this in my boyfriend. So I will look and find this kind of a boy. And that girl sets out and then finds one boy. And now she's happy. Okay, I'm going to get this from this boy. And slowly she comes to know that no, this guy is not meant to be only for me. Something else only this turned out to be. So now she's disappointed. Now all the what you call the breakups and the pain and suffering and all those things. And then they say maybe not this one. This I might have failed, but I still want this. Let me go and have it here. Another didn't work out. or maybe worked out, or maybe let's say, okay, worked out and want to get married now. Oh, successful. This is what I wanted. And finally, I got the love of my life, got married. After married, new problems erupt. And that person start losing interest. Oh, this person is not loving me like before. The whole thing is gone. The whole run is gone now. What you attained now to sustain it's difficult. Again, life is throwing you back. ये मेरी जिंदगी में क्यों होता है? Why am I only so unlucky? And now adjust with it. Acclimatize. Now no other option. Stay with my husband. Now I don't love. Okay. So धीरे धीरे when I adjust with him, it's okay. Even if he loves, he doesn't. I have children now. Okay. Other responsibility, got distracted and all that. Adjustment हो गया. We adjusted with life. If you look at life, we are adjusting every moment, here and there, here and there. And before the adjustment, we will cry, crib and cry. And after that, we give up. Okay, हो गया अभी हालात ऐसे ही है, नसीब है अपना, चलो उबर लेते. If you see everywhere, this is happening. I've seen this in my life happening consistently. Whatever I tried, it doesn't happen exactly that way. Whenever I thought life is going this way, but life turned out somewhere only. I thought this is my direction. My direction went somewhere else only. Despite me making all the efforts to take life in that direction, in that way. Forget me, others also trying to make my life in that direction. Everybody failed. People around me also, me myself also, and where what life took, where it is supposed to be. What everybody thought something, but life turned out to be where, which is the prarabdha bhoga, where it is meant to be, what is for the highest good of myself and others, that happened. Now when I'm seeing all this struggle, and then I come to know it's going here. The moment I give up all my doership there, now who's going to create? Who wants to create? However, wherever life is taking, let me go. The day that thing happens, I'm telling you, there is freedom, there is peace, there is everything, because you're just going with the flow. Whatever happens, nothing to now bang my head upon. In that also, if there is some pain, okay, fine, accept it. If there are good moments, accept it. Bad moments, accept it. So there is a acceptance that comes with life. And I have seen when I stopped my struggle, many years I struggled trying to do something, try to be something, and all that I got was only pain. And the moment I let go of everything, I'm seeing life turning me into that places, that zone, which is so beautiful, which is the way it is meant to be, and which I never thought could have been my freedom. Now, if I would have used my buddhi all the time, my intelligence all the time, I would have continued suffering. But the moment you choose to go with life, life will place you in that position which is supposed to take you. All that you can do is have intention to be taken up. That's all. Upward. That's all you can do. Have good intentions towards that. That becomes your prayer then. Subtle prayer or gross prayer. So that's how life goes. That's the reason I'm telling, we don't know where life will take us. But wherever it takes us, it will take us for our higher good, even if it means it is in a wrong situation. Sometimes wherein you are in the let go position only, you will see some odd circumstances also coming. But then if you just go with it, okay, this odd it is, instead of fighting, resisting it, cribbing, crying, grumbling about it, throwing a fuss about it, tantrums about it, if you just go with it, the suffering will stop, the tantrums will go, that those disappointments will go, and you just get carried with life. Not meant to be, not meant. Fantastic. Let me see what's ahead and go with the flow. Just go with the flow. Let me see whatever is there in front. I accept it completely. And I'm telling you, there will be beautiful surprises waiting all the time. Personal experience. Beautiful surprises. You can't fathom. And I'm telling, I if I would have used my little petty head, I don't know where would I have landed up. We will get only petty things, huh? When we use our petty heads or petty desires, pettiness only we'll end up into. But you just go with the flow and see where you're supposed to be, what is supposed to bring you good happiness, peace, it will take you there. I've seen so many people, students, struggling in their careers, wanting to become doctors, engineers, pilots, and scientists, and all that stuff. And they're so disappointed when it doesn't happen. And after all the failures, I told you it's all the prarabdha playing. Some might get it. That's their prarabdha playing there. Some might not get it. But those who have not got it, I've seen them finally, life making them realize something that is so simple and so neat, and so beautiful. And finally they settle down into that and say, oh my God, I'm so happy here. I've seen a guy who wanted to be a pilot and then turned out to be a very good painter. Now his parents would have had a shock because they invested so much money in that. Because we look at children as investments. So we want to claim that. So much of money has been pumped in for now you expect. And sometimes the children are also scared now. Okay, oh my God, my parents have pumped in so many money. Now I am answerable. Even if their head is not there. Sometimes they might not like that thing. They're not interested in it. Their interest might be in something else. But unfortunately, they are caught up in that. Sometimes they might be two minds. Sometimes all their life they are pursued something which their parents wanted. And now that has become their habit, conditioned behavior. And now they're confused. Oh no, but I see that I have interest towards that field. I'm trying to succeed in there, but it's not happening. But that's what I want. No, that's not what you want. That's what somebody else wanted. But it has become such a strong condition in your head that you are believing that to be true. Now you can't differentiate which is my belief and which is somebody else's belief, borrowed belief. And then you start believing somebody else's dream. And when that happens, there's a big conflict. There's a big suffering inside because you are consciously not moving towards that. So subconsciously not moving. Consciously you might be moving. Externally, what you believe, oh, this is my dream. Let me go and get it. But from inside, your soul is saying, no, Baba, no. I don't want to go there. I want to go that side. Now you are not listening to that soul because you have been conditioned in so because you are a man of your mind. All the time listening to your mind and thoughts. So you'll believe your mind only. Where have you heard your soul? You never put your attention on your soul. If you meditate deeply, if you go within, you'll understand what your soul is seeking. So when you don't understand what your soul is seeking, you might end up doing all those things in life which is not meant for you, which is not your cup of tea at all. And only after you waste a lot of time and money and energy and all that stuff, you come to know that I'm not good at it. How many of us have done that? You see, there are so many people around. The people are there who wasted careers. Somebody got into become a legal lawyer, studied law for so many years, and pursued and pursued and pursued with that because somebody in their family was a lawyer. So all that person knew was to be successful is to be a lawyer because they saw their parents, their uncles, everybody is a lawyer. So that's success. So nevertheless, their parents and family will only force that. What is good? This is only good for you. See, your whole family is flourished. Now it is easy for you. Setup is there. So that person also, the child also starts believing, okay, this is how it is. And he also becomes lazy and comfort freak because now he knows, oh, sab ready made, bana banaya hai, sab kuch. Everything is there. So let me follow my father's footstep. Everything is ready made there. Born with the silver spoon. But that person's heart is never there. Heart and soul is never there. So this person might get into that profession, but will be half-hearted there. And he will not be as successful as his father. And then the whole parents and the whole people will say, look what you have done. Look at us, we are successful. What are you doing? Say, I'm trying my best. Believe me, I'm trying my best. I'm doing everything. I know this is best for me. No, you don't know. You know what somebody else has told you is best for you. You have thought that to be true. And in that conflict, you spend your whole lifetime. You're never happy. Your parents are never happy. They have expectation from you. You have expectation from life. Life is not fulfilling your expectation. You are not fulfilling your parents' expectation. All dukkhi. Somehow life passes. And we pass away without achieving that freedom, that simple state of mind, peace, contentment is not there. And sometimes, I was talking about the lawyer, she went into law and all those things and learned, and suddenly one day she just revolted against everything. She just woke up one day and said, I can't do this. So why? You have been studying and you're a good student, you're taking good marks and all that. All that is good, but I can't. I hate this subject of law, and so much of falseness in this, because that she was a spiritual person, but she was practicing, and eventually her consciousness grew. Now she discarded it. Now she is unable to function. She said, I said, no way. Parents are saying, no, do this. She said, no. Then what do you want to do in life? She said, I want to pursue music. Music? Yeah, I want to go. Music किधर और law किधर, वकालत किधर? Finally, the parents had to give. Said, okay, go. Where do you want to go? Such and such places. And now that person is in bliss, learning music, composing music. She's composing her own song, making her albums, her debut, and all those things. Freaking out life. See where she was supposed to go according to the whole life's guidance, and where she ended up. Listening to your soul will take you where it is. When the struggle stops in the fake world, the fake expectations, and you just simmer down and sit down silently, to hell with the world, to hell with everybody's dream. Let me just simmer down in my peace for some time. And I take a big break. I work on my mind, I work on my presence, I work on my inner capabilities, I work on developing my consciousness, become more awake, develop my discrimination, fear of discrimination, the viveka. And when that is alive and alert, then I dare to walk alone. I dare to take the step that I want to take in life, what I truly want to do, irrespective of what, who says, how. That conviction, that courage will come from there. And the day that happens, you're free. At the most, what are you? What do you want? What do we want in life? To feed this body? Two times, three times food? And if you're a little more greedy, four times food? More than that, can you feed this body? And to feed it for two, three times or four times, how much do you need? To give this shelter to this body, how much do you need? To clothe this body, how much do you need? You'll see they're very petty and anybody can do it. But only when the greeds increase, the desires increase, then you start building up all these false ideas. This body needs this and that and that. Crap. It doesn't go that way. I've seen people building empires. I've seen them building so much of wealth and creating all these great mansions in which they live, and not getting a single day sleep properly. The man sleeps on the has to sleep on the ground because his chiropractic is told your bones are so brittle, you have to take care, and you better lie on an even surface. Don't go in anything that is cushioned. And that person spent his whole life building up that beautiful house full of gold, so ornamental, full of glitter, makmalka, chaddar, bed, the most costliest bed from the world imported, but he's not sleeping on it. He's sleeping on the floor. When he goes down to the kitchen, to the dining table, his children are all eating good food. He is unable to eat. Doctor has told, if you eat this, you are going to conk off. bland diet, most bland food, and there he turns and looks, his two cooks and the other servants are all eating the best of food, and he's eating this dry bland food. What has that well done to you? What is that use when you can't spend it on yourself, when you can't eat that food, what you're so much buying, so much creating? You're running around all the time in the world, studying this and studying that and doing this and doing that, and no space in your head, no space in your body, no space in your consciousness for anything left. You're so full of all the other activity. Where will you find peace? Our heads are full of so much of worldly knowledge. Where is it going to take? I don't understand where my history, my geography, my biology, my zoology, all those notes and all those things that I spent so much of hellish life in school and colleges studying all that nonsense, and today I don't use even zero point 0.1 fraction percentage of it in my life, practical life. What did I do studying about Akbar and Birbal and about the dynasties and the wars fought and world wars fought and which year who fought, who won, who died, where is whose grave and who? Oh God, we are living in a bullshit system, literally bullshit, and we are not even awakened to this, knowing that what is the system doing to us? How is it benefiting our simple life? Where we can't get peace of mind, where we can't get good sleep, where we can't get an empty mind sitting silently and able to even sit and sip a cup of coffee in peace. What life is this? What a mess have we created? What a mess are we more barging into? Is this life? What is the meaning of life? Only when one ponders over all this, we will give up the fakeness of this world. This is what I mean by fakeness. It's completely fake. Everything that we do doesn't lead us anything. See, I'm telling you, simple equation. If what you do is not leading you to peace, contentment, happiness, give it up. I'm repeating, whatever you do in life is not leading you to ultimate peace, happiness, cheerfulness, freedom, give it up. Better to give it up, or you'll come to a point where you want to give up life itself. That's no point. That's absolutely no point, because I to explain to you on a larger, higher terms, where on the gross world we can talk all this. On a spiritual world, there is no such thing called even death. So we move with those experiences. We come back to re-experience it. So if this is already a misery, by leaving the body, we don't escape it. We are only coming back to greater problems. So the simplest and easiest and humblest way to sort out life is to wake up. Wake up and look at things from a different, larger, deeper perspective, and find out where can you get that ultimate peace. What if you do in life will give you that satisfaction, that cheerfulness from within, that happiness from within, that freedom to live life and come to a state where everything is okay. Because if you come to the state of everything is okay, nobody can manipulate you. You become fearless. There is nothing to lose in life. There is nothing to lose in life. What will you hold on to? Nothing to hold on to life. Everything is okay. It's great freedom in that. That leads ones to Jivan Mukta state. You don't have to become a Videha Mukta. Many people think they by leaving the body they will become Videha Mukta. Videha Mukta means completely when you're free of karmas only. After that, you can get liberation after leaving the body. That is Videha Mukta. But we are talking here not of Videha Mukta, but of Jivan Mukta. Jivan. while leaving. One who becomes free is called a Jivan Mukta. So the whole of what we are talking here, practice of shifting into awareness, living in awareness, all this is awareness, what I'm talking. Pure awareness. Who's giving me this awareness? My buddhi, my intellect, my awareness. From where is it coming? From my shifting into awareness. If I'm shifted into that, I'm living it constantly, I can see all the crap of life. I can see everything that is running in my head, good, bad, ugly, and I am able to easily disintegrate that, discern, and find out what to catch and what not to catch. So ultimately, it will lead us to those kind of zones, living a life of awareness, which will lead us to freedom. First inner freedom, then outer freedom. First, we always try to become outer freedom. Difficult. Like we want to become independent. No more anybody's money, anybody's help, and all that. We want to become independent. So we'll struggle in a world that makes everybody dependent. All the systems in this world are to interdepend on each other only. There is nothing called a freedom zone here. Everything you see, anything you put your hand in, you'll be dependent on that. Anything in the world. You pick up a mobile, you are dependent on that. Without mobile, you can't live. Pick anything from the world, it makes you a slave. Pick a relationship, it will make you a slave. Pick a job, your boss will make you a slave. You do anything in this life, you're a slave. You pick up a hobby, you'll become a slave to that. Pick up a passion, you'll become habituated to that. Anything you do, you become a slave. Outside world. What I'm saying is, first the freedom has to come from inside. Inner freedom, inner independence, that will lead to anything, everything from outside. If you try to reverse the process, it's very painful because it's fake. Inside, you are not independent. Outside, you are trying to be independent. And your foundation is always from inside, within. Your microcosm will create the macrocosm. So the whole equation goes upside down. कोई शक या सवाल? Any questions? कोई तो है जो निज़ामे हस्ती चला रहा है। तो है जो निज़ामे हस्ती चला रहा है, वही खुदा है, दिखाई भी जो न दे नजर भी जो आ रहा, वही खुदा है. He is the one who is prevailing in everything. He is the one who takes care of everything. इतनी मुशक्कत करने की जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ेगी अगर उसको दे दो, सौंप दो. सौंपने की भी जरूरत नहीं, बिकॉज एक्चुअली वी आर नोबडी टू इवन हैंड ओवर अ लाइफ. we if you ask me, there is no choice for that also. There is no choice to even hand over it because he is not asking for your permission for that also. Life is just functioning the way it is, superb, bindas, the way it is running, everything is in divine order. Whether we like it, whether we surrender, we don't surrender, flow में बह रहे हैं. It is like the boatman in the ship. He's driving a boat and the waves are there, tossing him, and he's struggling with the waves and all that. And the other is like two boats. One is struggling on the waves. The other boat has fallen dead. The motor has gone. The motor is shut down and there is nothing to do. So one motor is struggling on the waves, sea waves, and to move ahead, and the other has no option. Motor ही बंद हो गया. Now the waves are taking it wherever it has to take. The only difference is one guy might get swept to ashore, maybe not in the direction he is going because the motor is gone, but he's swept to the shore and he'll end up in some place where he doesn't want to, he never thought of. But then it's like he ends up there, and the story of Mr. Friday, he ends up there, and that's the way he lives, and he gets acclimatized to that. And the other one who's going on that with a boat, navigating it, he's having the feeling that he's navigating it. He's going somewhere. But actually, there is so much of struggle in keeping that boat in place. I remember of a story like that only. The person did so many things to reach on the other shore, only to be re-guided back to another shore. See this, I remember Lahari Maseji, Sham Sundar Lahari Maseji, Mahavatar Baba's Shishya, Yoganand Yukteswar Giri Maharaj's Guru. When he is not in spirituality also, he doesn't know ABCD of spirituality, and he is working for military engineering service, MES, as a civil person. And one day he gets a transfer to the Himalayas, somewhere near the Himalayas, and then he goes there and he's not very happy with that transfer. And suddenly the transfer has come to him. So now he's going, he has no option but to go with the flow. He has to go with that orders, right? Now that, see, his free will is something, saying something, but that some spontaneously karma has taken him towards somewhere. So he has no option, and he goes there. And one day he just wants to take a. He has not joined duty yet, but he wants to take a stroll. So he walks up the rocks somewhere, and he sees some nice places. And he's walking, and then he enters a cave. Nice cave he sees, and from inside somebody calls his name. He's surprised. Who knows my name here in this wilderness? Goes inside. There is one yogi sitting there. That is none other than Mahavatar Baba. And Mahavatar Babaji says, "Oh, so you have come finally. Good." And they have a conversation. And he's confused. How do you know my name and all that? Mahavatar Baba says, "Yeah, you have forgotten, I think. You don't remember? I was a guru in so many lifetimes, and I have been following you since so many lifetimes. You used to be once very dedicated in your practices. You are very conscious. You are an awake person, an aware person." And he is not understanding what he's talking about. Larry Masaji. Then Mahavatar Baba points to an asan, a meditating mat in the cave. Do you remember that? He says, no. Then he says, that's your mat. You were seated here many lifetimes before. And then you had a tingle of your vasanas, and slowly you move towards those vasanas, Vishay vasanas, one after the other, and you just went on into that. But now, when you are finished with your prarabdha, I've been following you so many lifetimes. And now, when you are thinning, then the time is come for you to understand when your viveka is activating. That's the reason I called you here to meet, to tell you there is a lot of work to be done. First, he doesn't believe, Then Mahavatar Babaji gives him a glimpse through his powers, and then he suddenly sees his that lifetime where he was actually meditating in that cave. And then everything comes to his memory, and then he regrets, and he said, "Oh my God." Then he says, "Now what?" Mahavatar Baba says, "Actually, I called you here, and I got it done because your destiny is not here. But I had to call you just to speak to you because now you're in that right position, but you have to go back to the world." So he doesn't want to go back. He says, "No, you have your prarabdha karma still there. Something more is left. You continue your practice from your home only as per the guidance, and from inside now you'll know everything because that thing has become awakened. You'll know what to do exactly." So he says, "Go and do your practices there, and when the time comes, we will meet." So then he's surprised as to how did you call me here? How these things happened? Then Mahavatar Baba says, "You'll come to know when you go back to the office that how you came." So when he goes back to the office, and suddenly they call him, his officer calls him and says, "Sorry, Mr. Larry, something happened by mistake. We were supposed to transfer somebody else, but your name came in between, and nobody has the idea how we put your name, and you got the transfer. You are not supposed to get. You are supposed to go back to the place you came from. It is somebody else's transfer." And then that's what Mahavatar Baba said. "I got it done." He said, "I implanted the thought in that person's head, and that person, with that thought, with that power of that thought only, put your name there. So this was all a leela that I played to just call you here and remind you of who you really are. Just a glimpse. Now, since you know, you'll from here you'll catch up." And that's precisely what happened. He went back, and many years he was there, and finally he reached to great heights. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is, he was thinking his life is in the military engineering service, and he is at the peak of his career. He's doing everything as his career, and this is it. And one day to realize that his life is meant to be somewhere else. He's supposed to be a yogi, and he was a person who was sitting in the caves, and he thought he is a man of the world. That's what I'm saying. You might think your life is going in some direction, and you might think that's your purpose. You never know where you're destined to be, what you're destined to be. In my case, I'm telling you, I know it very clearly. 100% I'm talking with conviction. The guy who used to sit and booze in the beer and in the bar and all the time having party, and in Goa 3 days booze, fallen down there all the time with my friends, freaking out, smoking a pack and a half cigarettes a day, and all filthy kind of a lifestyle. I never ever imagined that I would be sitting here and talking spiritual stuff just 25 years back or 20 years back, not even 20 years back. And how I thought, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm in this office now, I got to become that, I want to reach in that state, I want to reach this level. Where is sab reh gaya? I want to get married, I want to settle down, I want to have this, I want to, everything what you thought sub just went off. I have revealed this in one of the webinars, that how when I went to Ganesh Puri, the only word that I was hearing from Bhagwan's chair was, "It is meant to be, it 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 is meant to be." Only this. I'm like, how the hell is this meant to be? No way. My life is not meant to be this. The sufferings that I'm going through and all that I was hearing, forgive, this is meant to be. Now I understand what is that meant to be. So when life gives us shocks, rude shocks, or gives us pain and suffering and turmoil, we never know why it is giving. Only time will tell that. For that time, we have to either keep desperately waiting for it, or the other beautiful option is just let go and go and trust that Whenever that thing will be known to me, let it be known, but let me live my life the way I want to live. So life is not in acquiring something, planning something, designing something, dreaming for something, and waiting for it to be created. And after that creation, manifesting it, and then sitting and experience. Now, since I've manifested, let me now experience. It's bullshit. I told you about that man who created wealth. 30, 40 years he struggled. I want to reach this empire, build up this empire, and then only for I'll take a peaceful breath, चैन की सांस लूंगा. और जब चैन की सांस लेने का समय आया तो शरीर हाथ दे दिया, रुग्ण हो गया, खाने पीने का वांदे, he's not able to eat food. When he wanted to enjoy, he, after all that years of hard work and manifestation, when he sat to eat his food, he can't eat. Doctors gave up on that, said you can't eat this or you'll die. You can't sleep on that bed. All his life became miserable. All that he earned and all that he created and manifested and waiting that once I create that, then I'll enjoy. You never know. So the real enjoyment, real peace and freedom is in the now. If you can just come to a state with everything is okay, or hal mein khushi type, that kind of a scenario, you'll start enjoying that freedom and whatever you wanted, that thing right now here with whatever you have, with whatever you don't have. You can have the best of things. You can have that freedom. That's life. So once you get a glimpse of it, then you're not interested in anything else. Then if it comes okay, then all your dreams will just go for a toss. That is the reason I say, if whenever you're writing or any creation books or whatever you call it, golden book or whatever, in that also, when you write down all your desires, but on the top always write liberation, self-realization, and then create. Then you will see that फीका पड़ने लगेगा सब desires after some time, and you will really go to that state where you are going towards that which is real. You'll stop following this unreal. You'll give up on this unreal because temporary happiness. Instead of that, you'll seek that permanent happiness. When you move in that direction only, things will become easier and your life will become better. So yes, we have those who are interested in going deeper in all these, whatever we were talking, achieving that inner freedom, inner cheerfulness, inner joy, inner peace, contentment, and all that stuff. There are all these programs that we are designing. So I already put up that. We have something called inner child healing that's coming up. There's no healing in that, okay? Might think what is healing in that. So we are not going to sit and heal anything, but when you release what is unwanted from you, you heal. That's how it is. So through the power of awareness, we heal those childhood aspects in us, which is creating all these miseries, these patterns, these conditions. Like I told you, we feel that it is my dream, but we don't know it's my elders' dreams, somebody else's dream. It's all borrowed beliefs that we live on. We never live on our beliefs. We have not seen what are due. And I'm telling you, even if you know, you're stuck. You're like a slave. What to do? I want to do this. I wish I could go. Many people tell, I wish I could come to Tiruvannamalai. How nice, you are flying everywhere. Wherever you want to go, whatever you want to do, all the time. You are gone there dozens of times. And I am sitting here thinking, when will I go? You will keep thinking only. You'll sit thinking only. Because that's all you can do. Hope. You have never dared to look into what you really want, and you have never tried to manifest that real thing that you want. You are manifesting all the artificial things in the world, thinking you will get that happiness there. But somehow your eyes is in the Tiruvannamalai. You're trying to create all the glamour, riches, and career, and this and that, but your one eye is on Tiruvannamalai. So you know that soul from inside it knows where you will get some peace, where you will get that real thing. So your pull is there. But outwardly 98% Vishavasana is there. That 2% Tiruvannamalai is there. So 2% से क्या होना? 98% only will start manifesting more, right? So that 2% will only be, I wish I could go. Wish में रह जाएगा. So when you go deeper into your reality, when you start realizing what is it that you truly want, I'm not telling through Tiruvannamalai is what I want. If you create that kind of things, it will not going to create. If you create what your soul is longing for, then Tiruvannamalai is a side effect of it. One part and parcel, that also will come. But something else is there that is important in your life towards your soul freedom. And that's very powerful than your worldly creations. Because there you have the support of the divine. When you move towards the divine, you have the full support of your divine. You are moving in that direction where the current is actually moving. You will not have to struggle now. Right now your struggles are because you are going against the current, downward downward trend, and the current is actually moving there, because that's how everybody is designed. You are like fire. When you light a flame, you'll see the fire is always upward. No fire goes downward. The lamp, that flame that is lit, flame is always upward, because that's the nature. Upward is the real current. And whenever you try to go against the current, you'll have lot of troubles. That is why Bhagavan says, beggar, oh beggar, leave up all your worldly delusions and all your worldly desires. There are only two paths. One goes upwards towards God realization, the other goes downwards towards worldly realization. And those who go downwards are beggars. Exact words, Chidakasha Gita. Bhagavan says this. Why? All these reasons, what we are talking about. So, inner child healing is something where we are actually breaking those conditions which, as from childhood, we have been conditioned. From the time we have been born, we are conditioned. From the childhood, we are not able to speak. Somebody else has always spoke for us. And every time we are stuck. There are times when we wanted to say, the child is stuck. Child wanted to live certain way, it is stuck. It wanted to laugh, but it cried. Simple things. The childhood got suppressed. The little child in us got suppressed, hurt, wounded, and it remained there for many years. And we forgot about the child. Our body became adults. Body and mind maybe grew up as adults, but the child within remained a child, locked down there. That influences your life. Everything in your adulthood is coming from signals from there. All your patterns are there, stuck there as a child. The weeping child, the wounded child will still cry. The wounded child will still throw tantrums. The wounded child will want its way. The wounded child will remain depressed and gloomy, not knowing what happened. Everything is there in the adult life, but still it's gloomy. The wounded child is scared. In childhood, something scared it very badly. Some incidents, some episodes. Now it is still scared to take one step also. It cannot take a new step. It is scared. Where is the fear coming from? That wounded child, conditioned. It's lying there. So many things. You are unable to take your own decisions. You're not confident. You don't have self-esteem. You lose hope in yourself. Somewhere in your childhood, you have been told you're hopeless, or you're not good, or you're not made to be what you are. You are always challenged in some other ways. When you grow up, this challenge becomes now also. You believe you are hopeless now also. You feel you are unworthy. If as a child you were never loved, you never got support, your whole life will go in that manner. Watch it. You will cling on somebody. You want somebody else's love, somebody else's attention. And you will always feel uncared, unloved, unsupported. The wounded child. Everything, maximum comes from your childhood. And every human being has wounded child in some way. In some cases, there are deeper wounds, psychological trauma given by people around them, physical trauma, mental trauma, emotional trauma. Sexual trauma, sexual abuses happen, and so much happens. It can clutter the mind of the child and block it in so many ways. Guilt can hold it. That guilt can turn into very deep problems in adult life. There are also so many other guilts. The feeling of unworthiness, unhealthy, impure because of the abuse. Then everybody it meets in the adulthood, it will believe and it will behave that way only. Psychological great impact, all these things are there. So this is what is inner child healing. It's not healing, it's actually going and addressing, regressing back into those days, those moments, and then healing that wounded child within. See, when the child becomes healthy, only you become like a child. Why Jesus said only children can enter the kingdom of God? Because children are that which is free, which is honest, which is pure, which is spontaneous, which goes with the flow. Can you see that? Children are with the flow, energetic, enthusiastic. Any halat, they're happy. No demands from life. Living in the moment. Children. They don't worry about their future, past. And if this child dies in us, then you imagine what happens. So it is reviving that child. And I know it's not a one process. That is, I might do it for 1 or 2 months if you're interested. If you repeatedly do it, it will get to the core of things. I was actually planning to do a 3-day event for that, but there is big time issues and everybody is busy, and then time zone differences and all that. Forget it. And there will be no recordings for this. So please do not ask for any recordings going forward. Those who can attend live may please attend and take the benefit, because the whole thing will happen in the live. It's a conscious program. Recordings will not help you that way. If you're serious, you'll have the time. If you think some certain things of your life needs more attention than all the mundane things of life, then you'll have it. But if you think all the mundane things are more important than you are giving your life an importance, your purpose of life important, so be it. It's all upon us what we want to do. So I have a variety of these programs because I know these are what my own practices have been. So it's the same that I'm sharing, and there are many more also which eventually, but these will uncondition. This will free a lot, heal a lot from things that are holding us behind. Inner child is one, then the other is about uh, releasing karmic ties, all the karmic ties that we are that are caught up. We are caught up in so many karmic ties. We are caught up in one after the other, to places, to people, to things. Unknowingly, they keep us binded. So one is forgiveness, which we had done last month. That's very powerful. So that will be connected with this releasing karmic ties. It's very important. So there also a lot of freedom. It's all cutting off unwanted, whatever, and then even cutting off slowly even the wanted. But that is later. But first, unwanted will should go off. Only you should live only in with what you really want in life. And most of the time, we don't even know. It's also cluttered, which is wanted, which is unwanted. Awareness helps there to find out what is needed, what is not. And finally, we have Apodipo Bhava, Bhagwan Buddha's message: be your own inner light. That is total freedom. When you are completely going towards yourself, you're looking at yourself, you're looking, turning within, all the inner guidance, all the nourishment that you're getting from within, clarity, and that divine presence, the divinity that you connect to, the flow that you go to, it's all going within completely. That is moving towards divine will. That program, Apodipo Bhava, where there is complete, no clinging. It is connected to Kalagnana. It's like no support. It's like Nirlamba Yoga. Nirlamba Yoga is yoga without support. You are moving to the yoga, you are moving to the merging, you are moving to the unity. becoming one with that consciousness without supports. Right now, we have thousands of supports. For Nirlamba Yoga of Bhagavan Shiva, Lord Shiva in Kalagnana says, follow the Nirlamba Yoga, where you are not dependent on anything for the final evolution, for the final liberation. This is what Shiva tells Devi. So these are three programs that I have in May, and May and June we will have some more. But that June I will put it up later as it comes. This came to my being, these three things for these 3 Sundays, coming up Sundays. If you are interested in all that, you may most sign. I can see people are signing up on all that. So as it goes, and what I'm going to do is now, because those programs cannot be, you cannot directly get into that because everybody is not in that frame of mind. First of all, they come and they say, oh, we have 6 hours to sit. Now I don't have attention. I should be saying, why 6 hours? If money is the only thing we wanted, I can do it even in 4 hours, 3 hours, and charge the same money. What is the big deal? But I know it's not going to happen that way. You have to simmer down into it, have to create that kind of an environment. Then we enter into that space, and then so it's quite some work to get into that space one by one. It will take some time to simmer down into all that. So for that, I'm keeping Zoom sessions in between. All the other days, weekdays, Monday to Saturday, whatever is there, something or the other will be there in connection to the next upcoming program. Like now we are moving towards inner child healing. Now you will see a lot of Zoom activities in these coming days or nights, which will all be towards that inner child healing. So those who have signed up for inner child healing, you need to be as much as possible attending these free sessions. So the more you are understanding the whole concept and all, the more you are ready for that day when we will directly get into the process with little description. So I'm keeping that thing open for everybody to practice, to get understanding of it clearly, and then finally easily, it will be easy for Sunday. But if you're looking, let me do inner child healing and in one sitting I'm going to get it, it's sort of false. It won't happen that way. Maybe it will happen, but not the full percentage. So the more of your involvement, the more of interest that you take in your own life, the more sincerity that you give in your own life, the pure intentions that you have in your own life, that will be the result. It doesn't differ who teaching you or who is telling what. Ultimately, it is how much quality you are putting into every work of yours and how much you are prioritizing these to your Vishaya. Those who are moving towards self-realization and liberation, they will naturally have an inclination towards satvasana and such kind of activities where they are in the self. But those who are still not ready for it will find their pull towards Vishayavasanas, and that's both are okay. I'm not telling you this is right or that is right. According to your state of consciousness, according to your yatra, wherever you stand in the journey of life, that is correct. So whichever appeals to you, you do it. It's upon you how you want to do it, what you want to do it. But I'll be keeping these programs which I feel, and it comes into my being, because this is, I don't use my head to do all these things. It something flows and I just note and put it out, as simple as that, and I just go by the flow, whatever is happening. So I believe that is what meant to be in the masses who are looking forward. That's how the equation works, where there is a requirement and there is a demand and supply, it automatically happens. So I don't know myself, I have no curriculum. When it comes, we will just do it. So these Zoom sessions also will be free, but I'm not going to keep it live like I'm having it here right now. Today, whatever content we had, similar only it will be, but it will be completely on Zoom. So if you are really interested in that, then you better sign up. There is that link, shiftingintoawareness.com/join. Or you go to shiftingintoawareness.com/events, where you'll find all the events. In that also there is a form. There you go and click that Zoom, all free. If you are not interested in the webinars, that's okay. You just click free sessions of Zoom. Then that updates will be sent only to the WhatsApp number of yours personally, not adding numbers to any group. You can add numbers to any group, but that will be sent only to you personally. So whichever appeals to you, you do it. So these Zoom sessions, not adding numbers to any group, Will personally receive whenever there is a live Zoom event. I'll of course I'll put it here also, but only be putting it is going to happen in Zoom. If anybody wants, they got to sign up there. So there you have your privacy. There you have only limited people who are focused on that. The energy is that way, consciousness is that way. So there we can focus on that. And once in a week, we'll have these clarity sessions where whatever we learn the whole week or till now, whatever we have learned, deeper scriptures or on path of awareness and practices, you can note down all your doubts or anything the whole week, keep it written down, because at the clarity sessions then you need to ask, because I will not be able to answer everybody's everyday questions, because it's obvious you're going to have doubts and it's very easy for you to pick up the mobile and just ask a question. ये ऐसे कैसे होता है? I don't have time to sit and ऐसे कैसे होता है? Just go to tell you. If you really are interested, note down those and ask. If you cannot ask, if you feel shy or if you feel something, then you put a message there, not in WhatsApp. Put there in the chat box of Zoom, private message you send. I'll immediately keep answering. That's how we are going to clear all the doubts, so that you have good clarity. But nothing I will be able to answer, neither your calls, neither your audio messages, neither your WhatsApp text messages on WhatsApp, nor I will note it. Because many people say, this is my question, please answer it that time. No, you come and ask that time only questions. Now what makes you feel that I'll keep a notebook or save it here and there for you? इतनी खातिरदारी भी नहीं कर सकता मैं, ठीक है? जो कर सकता हूँ मैं बोल रहा हूँ. वॉट एवर आई कैन डू आई डू इन माई हैंड्स. But if you can do so much, that will be better for you and me also, both. So I hope there is no other questions, because I didn't see any other questions here. Thanks for your hard work and commitment. सच्ची बोलता हूँ, मेरे को इसमें hard work लगता ही नहीं है. You might look like that because all the time this guy is doing something. For me, it is just simple as I'm sitting here and watching TV, or a friend comes and I'm talking, having on, including all the retreats are like that. It's a very spontaneous activity. Absolutely, trust me, there is no hard work in this. And I've never felt that I'm doing hard work. And that's the beauty I'm telling. If we fall into that bracket of going with the flow, there is nothing to do, nothing hard to do. It just happens very beautifully. Okay, Ji. Thank you. And you have no other questions. This side also YouTube. Okay. Yes, because knowledge flows through you. That's what happens. You just sit down there, connect. Connect भी करने की जरूरत नहीं. If you are always connected, you will never see me uh, invoking for myself, because I don't believe in that. You move in that frame always and sit. You will see. We'll just sit and the whole thing starts and it ends and we don't know. We say bye and we go off. Even the retreats and webinars and all that. Why? Because I teach to always be in connected state. Why only that time to be connected and disconnected? Even if I do a little prayer, it is for the whole room that I'm doing that time. Because new people are joining, my intention is immediately to who all those who are present, the divine beings, to bless all those who are there and help them connect. That's all the invocation that is done at that moment. Is the inner child healing same as Pratiprasav Shivir? No, I don't copy anybody. You'll never see me doing anything that is from somewhere else. I have told this openly also. You check out my practices, you'll never see anything that is anywhere's copy from anywhere. And I don't want to do that, because I have no authority to do or teach anything from any other organization. Nobody has authorized me, and so I have no authority. And I'm not interested also to do anything else. I'm just doing what comes through me, and these processes which you say is called Jati Smaran, taught by Lord Buddha. Lord Buddha was the master of all this. Jati Smaran means remembering. previous births. Smaran means memory. So you bring that into your memory. There are many processes by which you can regress back. Yes, inner child healing is a little part of that because we are not going into too deep into that. But there are chances you can touch different zones of where it comes from. Especially if you are repeatedly doing this inner child healing, and if you have a taste of it, if you understand the science of it, then you will understand that who's the wounded child, who's this wounded child. You'll see that it has a deep connection with the previous janmas. That connection only, that cause and effect only has brought that child into that kind of a state, and that child is again become the cause for your adult effect. This adult effect will then become a cause for your next janma. It goes on this way. So it's all interconnected. All these are very much deeply interconnected. But we are not going into all those zones of doing all those things. But they are powerful processes, I know. Okay, then. I think this is clear enough. So I left this whole message today as live here because I wanted to share the whole thing here and become clear to everybody so that anybody who wants to join, they can join towards these Zoom sessions. You are most welcome to be there. You'll be comfortable. You will have your privacy, and you'll still enjoy all these things. So, with lots of divine love and light to all of you, may we all evolve. May we all be free. Stay blessed. Bye.